Hi, and welcome to our second episode of Luxury Legends and Leaders. We wanted to start something that is incredible for luxury agents all over the world, whether you are looking to grow your luxury business, break into luxury, or just take your existing business to the next level. That's what we're here for. Today, I have two very special guests, but the very first one we want to bring up, Carrie Soave. Are you here? I, of course, love your name. You have Carrie times two, right?
And so, double trouble.
Absolutely. Carrie, I absolutely have been following you on social media. You are a rock star. You are an incredible speaker. You're so knowledgeable. You have been speaking around the world when it comes to AI. And, you know, I'm out here in Dallas, Texas this week. I just wrapped up a top producers mastermind yesterday with some of the top 250 agents within eXp Realty. And the topic over and over, guess what it was? AI. Where is AI? How can it help us? All the tools. So first of all, welcome. And I cannot wait to pour into us about how we can take our luxury business to the next level through AI. So what do you have? We have so much.
Well, first let's like wrap our heads around the fact that a lot of agents, especially luxury agents, are still resistant to AI because they, you know, in all fairness, they want to maintain this highest level of service, and they think the AI is going to, you know, they have to sacrifice that. And they don't. That's the beauty of it. So I just want to address that limiting belief. Like, are you seeing a lot of that, Carrie, with your agents, the luxury agents here at eXp?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Yes, I think there's a lot of confusion with AI. You know, there was at first this thing, Chat GPT, and I think a lot of us jumped on and we're like, oh, this is cool. You know, it's a glorified Google search. Is kind of how we thought at first, but it's so much more, right? And then, so if you'll start here, and then we're going to go through some steps so that our agents at any point, whether you are new to AI, maybe you're already using AI, we want to leave you today with tools of how you can implement your business. So, Carrie, there is Chat GPT, but there are other AI solutions. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I use Chat GPT at a very high level. Like, I pay for the pro version, which is $200 a month, and most people are like, "What the hell are you doing?" Obviously, it's my job, right? But I create custom AI solutions for realtors. So, okay, up until now, there's been a lot of like prompt engineering, buying prompts, buying coaching programs with prompts.
Right.
You don't need to worry about that anymore because we are now in the glorious age of AI agents. And
Right.
what is an AI agent? An AI agent could be a custom GPT or a specialty program bot for a niche. And it does one job, one task, one workflow really, really well. You don't need to understand prompt engineering to use it. All of the prompt engineering is built on the back end. They're wonderful. And yeah, anybody can use it. Like I designed my custom GPTs so that Carrie, you could use them, or maybe like, I don't know if you have grandchildren yet, but when you do, they'll be able to use them and produce the same quality content, because we need to look at AI as leverage. And how can we
Yes.
leverage AI unless it is putting out and giving us the same quality that we are able to do? And I know that's a very controversial subject. People are
Right.
like, humans are better, we're smarter, we're this, we're that. Not for long.
I think, like you said, one of the big topics that I've discussed with many agents is AI is here to stay. I mean, there's no putting, it's not going back in the box. It's only going to get greater. It's going to be widely used. And it's as if you're sitting here as a luxury agent, how can you be better at it? So now you did say, yes, there are these custom GPTs that you can have, but so for $200 that you're paying a month for your chat GPT, what does that give you that a basic one would not? Let's start there. And then we'll go into some of the specifics for luxury agents for prompting and getting the best use out of the AI.
So the first thing that I actually joined for was for deep research. So basically, oh my God, it's just me on the screen now. Hey. Sorry. So basically, I can ask ChatGPT to dive deep into any subject. It can take a couple minutes. It can take up to 30 minutes to really research the subject and create a full report with citations. As a business owner, like maybe not for every agent, but as a really true business owner, this is an invaluable tool, okay? Because I can dive deep into any subject and teach myself anything. And if I can teach myself anything, that means I can teach AI anything. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Right? So what did I just use it for? I just used it to dive deep into the traits of the top CEOs in the world. And so it would give me a report on what sets them apart compared to everybody else, the responsibilities, their personalities. And then once I had that full report, what did I do? Of course I did. I built a custom GPT that would act like them and advise like them. So that's the first. Now, as of today, I just saw an announcement. Deep research is available in your Plus account. So you no longer have to have the Pro $200 a month. It is now available in the Plus $20 a month. So if you guys need to start there,
yes,
dive into your business, figure out how to better run your business like a business if you're not already doing it. And then the number two feature that I was looking for was Operator. Now, Operator is an agent. It's ChatGPT's first AI agent that will perform tasks and do anything on your computer. So it can take control of your keyboard, your mouse. So it can do stuff.
It's a lot.
This is the future. Okay.
Yes, it is. So specifically, if you were using Operator as a luxury agent, what are some tasks that you see that is straight beneficial for the luxury agent?
Well, I'm in Canada, so I actually didn't get access to it until a couple of days ago.
Okay. No, but you have this genius mind. So help us as we're saying, how are we going to use Operator now?
So I was just testing it out the other day, and I was looking into LinkedIn. So I'm like, find me. Okay, So what I am doing, find me maybe some independent brokerage owners in the US on LinkedIn. That's for like an agent attraction way. And that's really as far as I've gotten with it so far is for my own personal use. But
I guess
let's
you say like devise me, could operator help? And I mean, look at the big things we have. Lead generation. Could it help with that? Could it help with a marketing campaign of helping you get yours instead of us going to pay all these marketing companies and all this? We have AI now. I think AI is huge in that role of helping agents in general, especially luxury agents.
So ChatGPT will definitely help in your marketing. Operator, okay, there are limitations to the sites that it can infiltrate and the jobs it can do. But guys, I don't think it's for everybody yet, but this is only the beginning. And like there will come a day where we can post all of our social content and have it answering our DMs. Like that, at that point, it becomes the only tool we need, in my personal opinion. And that brings us to, other products. I brought one up to you the other day, Carrie. What if you could use an AI tool to really help you manage your clients better and the client relationship, right? So recording.
I actually witnessed here in Dallas, it's not out yet, but it was a full AI generated doing a phone call prompting. And I mean, it was, we had to decide which one was the AI and which one was not. And honestly, you couldn't tell, but it was, and they set the appointment. So we've talked, Carrie, a lot about the agents that are like, oh, I don't want to do it. I think if you're resistant to do it, it will eventually hurt your business because you would not be able to keep up with the agents that are doing it. Correct. I mean, it's here to stay. And there's different ways to do it. I think, so what are some, Carrie, when you come to the biggest mistakes agents are doing with AI right now? Because I mean, I think is it the prompting? Like, I mean, there's so much. I know you've got some great little key text and prompts that do work better than someone that's not as experienced. So what are you seeing and how can you help give some tips on that?
I think prompts are over. I feel like GPTs and tools that have the prompt engineering are built in. The biggest mistake I see agents making with AI is not taking it serious enough. How are you going to compete with an agent that can analyze, your inspection reports and your condo docs in literally seconds and pull out information faster? How are you going to compete with agents that can analyze thousands of pages of documents? How are you going to compete with agents that can now pull up every single detail about their client in seconds? Like that kind of stuff. How, like, it's just not possible. Agents are using it for the bare minimum, and I think they need to look at big picture. We are at a time, so like I think of this time last year, I was talking about, I can't hire an assistant because I use AI at such a high level. They do work better. So I have AI assistants. Okay, that's great. But we're coming into a day and age where we can hire up with AI now. That is the future. Right. If I can build a CEO bot, what does that mean for the future? You can build entire companies with AI.
It's incredible. It's really mind-blowing if you think about it.
Yeah. And like, okay, so I think that it's dangerous to think that we're smarter than AI because like most of us aren't. And in the next 6 months, I don't think anybody will be with the models that are coming out. And then number two, the amount, I think it was Mark Zuckerberg that said back in October, He said, there will be more AI agents than humans soon. That's a statement and a half. When you pair that with the fact that they're going to be smarter than us. So how do we use them to make our business better?
Yes, that's where we are. So again, for luxury agents, there's so many aspects to our business. And I love how you said, like, analyze. I love the when you could put something in Chat GPT and like break this down. What does this mean? Like you said, the inspection report, or I had a great analogy at one of these meetings this week. Was, there was a conflict on a team. It was a real estate team, but the team leader already knew the profiles of each of the people. So it went to Chat GPT and it said, okay, this is the profile of this agent. This is the profile of this agent. And I need you to help me tell them each how this problem can be solved. And it actually did. It said, based on this personality, this is the way to do it. So fast forward, and then they resolved their problem. Think if you had negotiation conflicts. Think if you had, our people really, I believe some are using it for that, because it's a way to, the more you give it the information, it's a problem solver. It's a solution oriented aspect. So I don't know if you've heard about it or thought about it from our perspective that way, but I thought that was an amazing story.
Yeah.
But again, we have inspections, we have our marketing, we have our lead generation, we have so many aspects it takes to be on a top level. And when it comes to luxury, that's what we do. We operate at that highest level, correct? And I think not using AI is a mistake for sure.
Yeah. And think about everything. So I think I brought this up. So ChatGPT, if you have a Plus account, you have an app on your phone, or you have accessibility for the app. And I want you to think in terms of, like, forget about typing. I don't think I've typed to AI in like how long. AI is multimodal, and that means that it can see and it can hear. So I don't think I ever have to type again, which is beautiful. How much does that save for anybody in business? And then the fact that it has eyes, Carrie, so we can upload pictures. We can share our screens now with ChatGPT, and we can share our camera. So how would you use that as a luxury agent? Turn on your camera, turn on ChatGPT, and walk through a home. You don't know what kind of tile this is, it'll tell you. The possibilities for this are endless when it has access to your eyes. And I want you, that's what I want the listeners to do. Experiment with speaking your orders, speaking your requests, and giving it your eyes, because it's going to take your business from here to here. And there's actually there's a really cool voice activated assistant, and I'm going to send you the link for after as well. They can get started with that if they want to try an AI agent that is voice activated. That's the perfect one. It will help manage your CRM. Imagine running like all the details that you have to understand and know and remember about your clients as a luxury agent that makes you a luxury agent. Imagine if, like, anywhere you could just voice clip and be like, Barbara hates cats. Like, we just have to remember this always. Because what if you're going to go show her a house one day and, you know what I mean? There's a thing on my listing, don't let the cat out. You know what I mean? So being able to record that information into your CRM and then recall that immediately is super invaluable for managing and improving the client relationship. And that is the core of what makes a luxury realtor a luxury realtor, is their ability to manage their clients at a higher level and provide a higher level of service, right?
I love how you said of turn it on while you walk through the house. I cannot wait to test that. Oh my goodness. To me, that is a major golden nugget. I mean, imagine, and it can see. And like you said, I mean, how many times I know for me, I've tried to learn every marble, everything about a luxury home, but I mean, to really hear from it from that perspective is amazing. Um,
But
what
Karen,
about,
what if you give it the eyes so it can suggest furniture for staging, or like the
yes,
possibilities are just endless, guys.
I love that. What about if you had um, your database, and the database is just one of those you have not cleaned up in years. You've added here, your notes are terrible in it. This does not sound like an agent though, right? But if you were that agent, how could AI help you with that?
I feel like I have a tool for that. It'll actually attach to your database if you're using KB Core and soon Follow Up Boss, and it will analyze your contacts according to your notes and the activities going on within it. To get that, just go to my Instagram account and comment assistant, and you'll get like the direct link to look up that tool. It's an assistant, obviously. Yeah.
I love it. Well, as we're wrapping up, I want to just recap and give them some absolute tools that you would give, like maybe your top 3 tools that they need to do. And let's do it as people that are into AI, but not to your level. Like we all have our chat GPT, but what can we do to be better? And then I think we have just a couple questions from the audience before we move on to our next session. So, okay. Putting you on the spot. Let's top 3. You are coaching us. You are my coach, and I want to be the best luxury realtor in the world. What am I going to do?
Okay, so first of all, I want you to start with LLMs, large language models. That's what ChatGPT is. You need a ChatGPT Plus account. I would get a Gemini account because it's connected to your Google Drive. So if you use G Suite, and I'm sure everybody listening does, like who doesn't anymore, you use Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Drive, you're going to want to use Gemini for that reason, because it can read your files. And then the third one, oh geez.
There's so many.
Right? There's so many. There's so many. I don't know. Maybe an assistant. How about a business planning assistant? I'll give everybody listening a business planning assistant for free. If all they have to do is go to my Instagram and comment GPT, and they'll get it for free.
Awesome. All right. So tell them again how to get to your Instagram.
Instagram is my first and last name. And I think it says and associates after, but you'll see it. It's really hard to miss.
At Carrie Soave and Associates. And
Yeah,
where do they comment?
Just DM me. How about that?
Okay.
And I'll make sure everybody gets it.
Woohoo. We love gifts. Yes. All right.
Right.
Yes. Well, you are so awesome. Okay. Brian Powell says, what AIs do you suggest?
Okay, so for people that are more into AI, I came across a really, really cool AI. For those of you that use Follow Up Boss, especially the team leaders, because in KV Core, we can build our own landing pages. A landing page, guys, is a part of a funnel. And they're really complicated to build unless you use KV Core. And I found an AI site. It's app.landing.so. Build your landing pages instantly with pictures, text, and everything. It's AI. Okay, so that I just tried it out this morning, and I'm like, oh, this will solve a lot of problems. Because if you don't have a funnel, what are you doing with your life?
I love it. That is gold. I love this. Thank you. Okay, we have Gina. Can you share or show specifically where or how you would use the visual service, and how do we turn it on to walk through a house?
Okay.
And where do we go to give it eyes? Great
question. Okay, so you're going to go to your ChatGPT account. Okay, you have to have a Plus account for this. You got to pay the $20 a month. And what you're going to do is you are going to, do you guys see in the chat box, there's a microphone, and then beside it, there's a black with white squiggly lines, little circle. It's like, that's where you, anyways, you click that. It's right here. Boom. And it's going to, hi ChatGPT. I'm going to give you eyes so you can see what is happening. Do you know where I am?
Hey there. Thanks for sharing your view with me.
See what I mean?
Ooh,
So,
I love it.
Did you guys get that okay? So that the black circle with the squiggly line activates advanced voice mode, so two-way voice mode. And as soon as that opens up, you're going to see a camera.
I don't have access to the camera right now.
Don't talk.
Trying to show
the camera right here. You push that and see it opens up the camera on your phone. You guys see that okay?
Yes.
I have no perception. Like, honestly,
yes.
Like, we're going with this.
Jeremy, are they seeing this?
It's so hard to show because
I know, because we can't see everyone. We're just seeing each other. So, Carrie, you are amazing. Thank you. Thank you for pouring in. I know you're going to get a lot of DMs, and we thank you for your time. And we're going to have to meet up. Right now, we're meeting once a week, so we need to meet. Keep our this going. You have so much information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carrie. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Take care. Bye. All right. Next up, we have one of our luxury council members, Pete Middleton. Pete was actually just left Dallas out here with me. And we also have one of Pete's very great friends, one of his best friends in the world. And I actually have gotten to meet this rock star legend as well, the Ivan Sher. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yes. So, Pete, I'm going to let you do an introduction for Ivan. But Ivan, you know, you're one of those people that I think everyone loves. You have done such an amazing business when it comes to growing your brand, growing your team, and really what you've done in the Las Vegas area. I know when I was out there, you took your time. He showed me his beautiful offices. And we sat around telling all war stories about luxury real estate. So we're privileged to have you on today's show. Pete, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Carrie. You know, you guys, I'm really, really excited to have Ivan on today. Ivan is one of my best friends, and he is an exceptional luxury agent out in Las Vegas. He has a team of 22 out there. He has his own brokerage. It's called Is Luxury, and it's the leading luxury brokerage in the greater Las Vegas area. I mean, Ivan deals with everyone from casino owners to rock stars to, magicians to all types of people. And he has so many NDAs that he had to sign. He probably can't talk about most of it, but here's what he can talk about. He can give us a lot of insight on what's happening in the luxury market right now and how to advance your business in luxury. Ivan has done a tremendous job in that over the last 25 years, really not only breaking into luxury in Las Vegas, but really dominating luxury in Las Vegas. So Ivan, let me ask you this. So there's a lot of people out there at different levels of their luxury real estate journey. What do you feel is important for them to focus on first and foremost when you're either breaking into luxury or you're trying to get to that next level?
First of all, thanks for having me, guys. Love seeing you both. Pete, it's always a pleasure, pal. Whenever we get a chance to catch up, which is several times a week. But you know, it's always the questions like, how do you break into luxury market? It's not an easy answer. I got lucky. I found a lady who was the specialist in Las Vegas. She was growing her she didn't have a team at the time, and she was looking to grow bigger and maybe have some more of her time back. So when I came into her life, I was that missing component to help her get her life back and at the same time take over some of her business. And ultimately we became partners and grew together. I really feel that if luxury is a specialty that you want to focus in, number one, you need to understand what luxury is. Meaning, I mean, there's the TV shows. Those aren't real. That's not really how it happens. Some of the real estate TV shows. There's learning finishes and learning what's important to somebody who's looking to buy a 10, 20, $30 million property, and finding out what's important to them. And part of that is associating yourself with a top luxury brand and or team. If you have a team member or a group of people that are going to help elevate you, help get you in front of the right people, help you grow your own understanding of what luxury is, your business is going to grow, and you'll decide what you like and what you don't like. And ultimately what ends up happening is you become, you not how do I put this? Everyone has their own version of who they want to be. And if you follow somebody too closely, you don't want to become them. You want to become your version of what they do. But having somebody to give you a hand up, to help you out with some leads, to help you out with some marketing, to help you out with some branding, to get you into the neighborhoods that you can't get into, that's super important.
Yeah, I love that. And Ivan's done a really good job with that, you guys. His branding is second to none. His collateral is great. Ivan, I want to kind of switch gears a little bit because a lot of people may be curious. What is your morning routine like? And how do you get prepared every day to get in the right mindset to do luxury and to really increase your luxury sales? Walk us through your morning routine.
It's so, my morning routine is my only routine. So in the morning, I get up. First of all, I hate mornings. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or even 7 a.m, but I do it. I don't like that. I like nighttime. I like evenings. As you can hear in my voice, I went out to dinner with clients last night, so I'm a little off today. But I like morning routines. And so not early morning, but getting my day set up. So what that looks like is every morning I meet with Brian. Brian is my director of sales, and he's also my accountability partner. And we sit down, and because Brian's mind is younger than mine, he is able to recall, Ivan, you need to call this person. This person needs to list their house. Let's set up a lunch with you and this person. And we're going through each of these steps. We're getting an offer on that. Now, Brian's not my assistant. We have an assistant. Brian has his own business. He's very successful, does very well. But my mornings, he and I work together in the mornings. And for 2 hours, we create the week. And based upon each morning, what I do in the morning sets up the afternoon for that day and for the following days. If what I've done has been successful and I've created my appointments, then I'm done. I'm done for what I absolutely have to do. And then the appointments that follow are the result of my actions. But it's almost back to basics. I mean, I loved listening to Carrie talking about AI. I got such a long way to go on that. It's going to be a part of what we all do and should be a part of what we start to do now. But the fundamental portion of my business right now is the back to basics, getting in touch with clients, setting up lunches, setting up dinners, and Pete, just to go a little deeper, even though I know you didn't ask this, my calls are not, hey, do you want to buy or sell a house? My calls are, Pete, it's been a minute. How are you doing? How are the kids? Man, it's been a long time. Why don't we go grab lunch? Why don't we grab a drink? Why don't we grab a coffee? Whatever it is. And from that, organically, comes conversation about life and family and business. And that's more important than, are you ready to buy or sell a house?
Yeah, I know you've always invested in those relationships. I know that's kind of the foundation to your business. Guys, Ivan every morning contacts, how many people do you contact between 9 and 10 every morning?
I wish I was that disciplined to tell you that I have a set number of people. I just go until my time is up. I go from 8:30 to 10:30. And with me, it's tough because there's so many things that I want to be doing other than making those calls. There's so many distractions that I could be looking at. There's so many things that can pull me away from it. And Brian's got a full-time job, keeping me centered and pulling me back and doing what he does, but he's the master at it. And so we just make calls. And sometimes the calls are incredibly productive and sometimes nothing happens. But the blend is where the business comes from.
Yeah, you've always been consistent with that. I know you've been very disciplined. I know it's difficult for all of us because most of us have ADHD. We're looking at shiny objects. We're trying this. We're trying that. But that's kind of been the backbone to your business a lot, and you've kept a lot of relationships going. Talk about how much business you get from connections, relationships, going to breakfast, lunch, happy hours, dinner. I mean, you're a master when it comes to getting belly to belly with people and connecting with them. Can you expand on that a little bit?
You know, Pete, all my business, all of it comes from that. Because like my business partner who passed away, as you know, Florence, which she passed away in 2017, someone once came up to her after she spoke on stage and said, "I'm so impressed with you. I can't believe I'm getting an opportunity to speak with you and ask you these questions." And she looked at the young lady and she said, "You know, I have to tell you, I'm only as good as my last transaction." And that's how business is. And so all of my business would be gone if I did not reach out to my clients in the mornings and have these conversations. And I'm not sure what the second part of your question was, but I know there was one.
What are you doing right now to really, I mean, it's a tricky time, right? I know that sometimes luxury inventory is limited. You have buyers looking for inventory that's not out there or doesn't really exist, or you have to drum up. How are you finding those opportunities for those buyers who have momentum or are motivated to buy right now if that inventory doesn't exist?
I'm creating the inventory. I'm going out and getting the inventory. Last year, our numbers dropped a little bit. It was a great year. It was one great year, but our numbers dropped 10%-ish in business. And at the end of that year, I saw some competition coming up, and that fueled me and motivated me and pushed me. And Brian and I got on the phones and just called and called and called and called. And my business is listing generated. And I think you almost have to be, especially with what's going on with the BBAs and things like that. That'll all shake itself out, and it works fine today, but it's going to be different today than it will be in 6 months than it will be in a year. So with NAR, but my thing is listings. I'm doubling my listings, and so I doubled my listings, and so now I'm gonna double it again, and those conversations are getting sellers excited about our market, letting them know about the fact that we have so many buyers coming in from out of state looking for what Las Vegas has to offer with our tax structure, with our weather, with our sports teams, with all of this and the new developments that are coming in, and just having conversations with them and finding out what is it for them, when would they consider going on the market. And obviously it comes up from them to me, and then they've opened the doors and I'm allowed to have those conversations. But that's it. I'm listing focused, and I'm really driven to push and to beat each year.
I love
And
that.
how did you,
Oh,
Carrie, 1 second, when you didn't have listings or you were short on listings, how did you generate business? Because a lot of people out there may not have the listing inventory that you have right now. How would they go about generating their own listings or their own business?
It's exactly those calls. It's going out there, and it's my business changed, Pete, when 10-15 years ago, when I came out with a real estate it wasn't even a real estate publication. It was a magazine. Let me just think, 10-15 years ago. Yeah. It was it was in 2007, 2008, when the market shifted, right? When we went through our crash. And this guy came up to me and said, "Ivan, I want to help you with a magazine publication." I said, I'm a realtor. I don't want to be a magazine publisher." He goes, "No." He goes, "I have an idea." I said, "What's your idea?" He said, "During this time when the market is, where everyone's depressed, where people are losing their houses and short sales and the world is upside down," he said, "I want to create a publication." He goes, I'll be the publisher." He goes, you and Florence can be the owners." He said, "I want to create a magazine that focuses on a person of significance." So that would be the cover of the magazine. And focuses on a person of significance and but not on their business success, what they've done in philanthropy, what they've done to help the world, what they've done, the stories people don't know, the humanitarian stories, so we can have lightness in this dark time. And I thought, what a brilliant idea. And at the time in 2007, we didn't know that the luxury market was it yet. We had a development that was paying us out, and we thought we were, protected from the crash. Well, very quickly we learned we were wrong, and we stopped the publication because it was very, very, very expensive. But in that time, I went from being a realtor, and again, nothing wrong with being a realtor at all. I went from being just a realtor to being a part of the community and being a part of philanthropy, being a part of giving back, being a part of my city. And I had people in different arenas of philanthropy reaching out to me. Ivan, could you help sponsor this? Could we do that? And it became this mesh, this network where now what I do is so much more than just selling houses, even though that's all I do. I sell houses, but I'm so integrated and ingrained in the community that I'm seen differently, I think. When I call people, yes, I'm sure they cringe a little bit because they know that I'm calling them the 10th time to meet with them for a coffee or something. But it's a real conversation. It's not, if the timing's not right, I don't want them to sell their house. But I want to share with them where I see the market going. I want to share all those things, and it's been a big push for me.
I love that. One of the things that, Pete, when we were out here in Dallas, we talked about, pain. That pain in our business always causes growth. And if you've been in the business as long as all of us, there's been pain. I wanted you to share with the luxury listings, our agents out there, what was a breakthrough moment for you? And in early Ivan, what was a pain moment that turned into success? Like you've said, this is my moment, but this is all. And you've just really told one. You have so many amazing stories for all of us when it comes to growing our business. But do you have one of your younger self before you were the Ivan Sher man now as on our road to success? Because, I think a lot when you're a newer luxury agent, you look at you guys, you're so successful, you're here, but you've been through so much to get to this level. So what is a breakthrough moment to help the listeners that you've gone through that maybe will help them? Because without pain, there is no growth in our business.
So great question. It's interesting. I don't see pain as negative, and especially in business, but overall, because there's no growth without pain. If every day life was happy and fine, and there was no pain, then you would continue doing what you're doing. If you ever want to change, there has to be a push. You have to get uncomfortable. And breakthrough moments, I've had a couple, and surprisingly recently, actually, in 2017. So I'm 55 now. So 2017, we can back that out and figure out how old I was when my business partner passed away. She and I had talked about, we talked about what would happen ultimately when she retired. And she kind of gave me some steps, and she had privately retired December of that year, and it was now January, and I found out that she had cancer, and she passed away, I think, in July of that year. And what I realized is how little I actually, number one, knew, and number two, believed in myself. And what I found out was she was so listings driven. She was so heavy on listings. And I was not. I was a buyer's agent. So I didn't know how to work with sellers. And I failed all the time. I'd go to a listing knowing that I was going to fail, even if I faked it and pretended and put on that smile and that bravado that I was going to get it. And I just failed and failed and failed and failed. And ultimately, I had to figure out, there was a 6-month period after Florence passed away that a few people that were close to me in the company realized that I was spiraling, realized that we weren't going to make it. And in that moment, I had to sit back and think, what do I do? And that's when I had two people that rose up in my life. Mark Stark, who at the time was the CEO, franchisee owner of Berkshire Hathaway. And Mark came to me and he said, Ivan, he goes, I'm going to teach you how to be a CEO. He goes, but you just need to have someone that can help you run the company. And Pamela Fox, who is now my director of operations and business partner in many of my businesses, she said, I'll run the company. And while those two took away my distractions, I got to focus on selling, working with buyers. And what I ultimately ended up doing with listings, because you can't have a big business without listings, not a long-term big business, in my opinion. What I ended up doing is every time I'd fail at a listing appointment, I'd call the seller up, and if it was Pete, I say, Pete, it's Ivan. Sure, listen, buddy, I'm just calling to check in and see what your thoughts were. And in the meantime, in the back of my head, I know I didn't get it. I just know it. I had no confidence. And Pete would say, Ivan, we loved you, but we are going to go a different direction. And in the past, I would just say, okay, no problem. Thank you and good luck. This time I decided I wanted to find out why I was losing. So I said, well, Pete, I really feel that you and I enjoyed our time together. I feel like we've gotten to grow, we connected. And Pete would say, absolutely, we did. I said, well, could you tell me what it was about me that chose you to go with the other agent, or what it was about the other agent that chose you to go with the other agent? And then the first answer is always a deflect. First answer is, oh, no, we loved you. You were great. It was so close, neck and neck. We've just had a relationship with this person for a while. And I said, no, Pete, I totally get that. Then I go one level deeper. I'd say if there were to be one reason, if there'd be one thing that I could improve upon, what would it be? And every time they would tell me, every single time.
Now that is gold. That's for anyone. I love what you said. And I love how you put yourself out there. I mean, even through it all, like, tell me, because you learned from that. Wow. My follow-up to that is, we teach a lot about systems, and we all know you're as good as the system you run. Obviously, you've been dropping all kinds of nuggets on. You have amazing systems in your business. For that newer agent that is growing, I love the point that you said, you have to be the CEO of your business. I know we wear 1,000 caps, but to really be successful, having that CEO mindset, to me, is where I have always seen agents succeed. But with that, it still goes back to systems. You have your morning routine, which Pete brought up. Anything else when or you see agents failing, because it's like, how, like you said, they're making their calls, but they're not getting them. They're going to listing appointments, they're not getting them. Is the system failing, or what's one thing that you could recommend to help them?
Well, I think in that scenario, kind of like what I had to go through, you have to solve for, why am I not getting it? At some point, it's me. It can't be that everyone else is better than me. It can't be the market. It can't be. At some point, it's me. So you got to look in the mirror. And one of my superpowers is with me, you get what you see. I'm pretty real. I'm pretty authentic. And I think you have to have that honest conversation with yourself. Am I trying to be something I'm not? Not meaning, am I trying to be a realtor and I shouldn't be a realtor? But what am I trying? Am I pretending that I'm on television and selling houses, or do I just need to sit down? Nobody wants to be sold on anything. You don't, I don't, your clients don't, but they do want people to have conversations with them that can add value. So then how do you add value to your clients? How do you, what can you offer? And everyone's a little different, and you have to ask questions. If it becomes the Ivan Sher show, when I'm sitting down with somebody, I'm doing something wrong. If it's their show, but they're listening, and I'm asking them questions, and the more I'm asking them questions, the more enrolled and engaged they are in learning more about me. And then pretty soon people realize I'm a little different. I don't care really if I get the listing or not. If it's a fit, I'm in. If it's not a fit, then I don't want it. So it's just an honest conversation. Can I help you? Are we a good fit together? Here's what I'm seeing. Here's why I think you should sell your house. Here's why this is what I have to offer. What are your expectations? What's happened in the past? And kind of guiding that expectation. Pretty soon, at first it feels like you're faking it a little bit, but pretty soon you become all of a sudden you'll surprise yourself with your own knowledge.
I love it. I love it. So much amazing information. As we're wrapping up, we look at where we are in real estate now. We look at many markets, very low inventory. We still see those that have a relationship business still crushing it. I mean, there's still homes being sold. So a lot of the reports are the market is not, for this year there's not going to be a lot of changes in this year. It's just grind it out and keep going. Pete, Ivan, what would you all say with our listeners of just winning in this market? I know you've already given so many tips, but this is the market, is assuming this is the market we're in. This is, how can we finish strong this year, and how can the agents be the best luxury agents they can? Any go away tips for them?
From my perspective, you have to stay in touch with your clients. You have to not just stay in touch with your clients. The ultimate goal is to be the resource for your clients, to be somebody where no matter who they are, they want to pick up the phone and call you about, even if they're not looking to sell their house, if they need information on the market, if they need information. And the only way you can do that is to stay in touch with them, to meet them at their needs, to just make yourself available and be real. Don't pitch, don't sell, be real. Pete, you're up, buddy.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer, Ivan. I'm just going to expand on that. I think to be powerful in this market, power is from proximity. So you have to be in close proximity to not only your past clients, but your sphere of influence and people who are connectors. And if you want to do more production comes from action. You have to take action to do production. And in order to take action, you have to show up with the right mindset. Ivan and I can speak on this because Ivan and I talk almost every day. That's the power of our proximity. It's more than real estate. We're best friends. We have a really deep relationship, but we bounce things off each other. And in a lot of ways, we hold each other accountable. Real estate sometimes, especially luxury real estate, can feel like a grind or a lonely business. And you need people who are in proximity to you to empower you, right? That's really important. Right now, you have to go create the market. Don't wait for the market to come to you. Call all the top agents and compliment, say, I admire you. Do you have anything coming up? I have a lot of buyers who are searching for certain things. What do you have coming on the market? And start developing a list of what is going to be coming up. That gives you power. Now you have something to go to these potential clients with, or potential people who are thinking of selling, and saying, this is what's coming on the market. Here's why I think it's a good time for you to do this. And this is what I feel we can get you a result. So you have to really understand that. I think a lot of agents just wing it. I feel not that they're not committed, but they don't know where to start. And that's the big thing. That's what I would talk about, is really understanding your markets and being able to talk to people about it.
Well, to piggyback on that, Pete, I agree with you. And I love when Ivan went over his morning routine of the calls for 2 hours. And I think to add on to that, it's more than just calling clients. I know, I built my career off of other agents, having that network, having, like you said, creating your inventory is still through other agents as well. So I think this is a relationship business. Although we network like crazy, it does come down to those relationships. And we have two of the best guys in the world, Pete and Ivan, who have amazing relationships. I know Pete amazes me every day. If I need anything, I can call Pete because he has a buddy that has that in. But that takes years. Am I right? Absolutely. But he does. You've spent years, and it's the follow-up. It's those texts. It's the calls of really forging our way. Really, if you look at real estate, it is a small world of business, especially here in the United States. And of course, throughout the world, as we grow, we're talking to global leaders and country leaders, and the world of real estate does become small, especially when you're outside out there networking. Well, I cannot thank you all enough for being here. I was writing down some top takeaways. Mine are: the best are still doing the basics. I love hearing both of you guys on here, and absolutely, I see you both working your careers like it was your first day on the job, and here you are, legends in our industry. Relationships, absolutely, it is a relationship-driven business, so go out and get those relationships, and definitely, pain comes from growth. So if you are an agent out there that you are experiencing pain, take that pain and turn it into something extraordinary and growing your business. So thank you all for today. We've had from AI to luxury legends, and we will be here the last Wednesday of every month here to bring more golden nuggets to you and how you can build your luxury real estate career. Take care,
Thank you
everyone.
guys.